It's the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
If you live or work near Friendship Heights in D.C., you have a new way to well right around the corner. Well by Kaiser Permanente is primary care like you've never experienced before. It's a personalized approach to great health with skilled Permanente physicians who are known for delivering better health outcomes, all for your well-being. Healthcare done well is here. Well by Kaiser Permanente at Friendship Heights. Learn more at kp.org/well.
And welcome to the Locked On Minnesota Twins podcast. Today is Monday, October 4th, and I'm your gracious host, Nash Walker. Thank you for making Locked On Twins your first listen every day. We are free and available on all platforms. Again, this is Nash Walker, writer at Twins Daily, lifelong Twins fan, bringing you 5 days a week coverage on the Minnesota Twins. And it's, when people say something's bittersweet, I think that's true. I think this feels like a bittersweet day. Twins season is over. It's been over for a long time, but now it's officially over. This is the first episode of the Twins offseason. Really excited. Tom Froming had a really good point, and I can't encourage you enough to watch Tom's videos at twinsdaily.com or at YouTube, Tom Froming, F-R-O-E-M-M-I-N-G. Tom said today in a video that it's going to be a lot easier for him to watch the playoffs and watch other teams in the playoffs because there's not that heartbreak of the Twins being out. And I think that's super true. I think last year and in 2019, it was very difficult for me to get into the playoffs after the Twins were eliminated by the Yankees in 19 and by the Astros in 2020 because it was so disappointing. Like, you're just sitting with that disappointment of the losing streak and, people bringing it up, asking. It's like, I don't want to watch baseball right away. And I watched the World Series last year, but yeah, I didn't watch a ton of ball after the Twins were eliminated because I was upset. Like, I was sad about it. But I think this year, Tom made a good point. It's going to be a lot easier to watch playoff baseball, and I'm super excited for playoff baseball with fans back. I mean, I think this wild card game between the Yankees and Red Sox at Fenway is going to be awesome. There's a playoff preview on every Locked On page right now, a Locked On MLB page, previewing the playoffs. I think it's Jeff Carr and Sully, which is a great duo. Whoever it is, I'm sure they're great. I know Jeff and Sully are. Breaking it down a little bit, but the wild card games, Dodgers, Cardinals, Red Sox, Yankees, going to be so good. Astros, White Sox. Reminds me a lot of the Twins and Yankees in 2019 in terms of the seasons. The Twins and Yankees had 101 and 104 wins or something in 2019, so a lot more wins, but still like very evenly matched. I think that series is somewhat of a toss-up. The Astros are favored, but I think that's going to be really good. The National League, Brewers, Braves, who knows what's going to happen. Atlanta's offense against Milwaukee's pitching staff. And then I mentioned, the wild card games, the winner in the AL are going to play the Rays. The Rays are just a machine. They're just a machine. And then in the National League, who would have guessed it? The number one seed in the National League, the San Francisco Giants. How will they fare in October? Will they look the same? Are they going to continue to win into October? Fascinating storylines. We'll be covering the games on the podcast as we get through the offseason for the Twins and in season in review. Today we're going to do 5 takeaways from the weekend like we've done every Monday now for a handful of Mondays in a row. And then we're going to talk about my first award, and it's the biggest award, and it's the team MVP. We're going to give it to a certain second baseman today, and I'm going to tell you why he's the Twins MVP with some numbers and with some intangible stuff too, what he brought on a day-to-day basis all summer long. Did it again yesterday in a Twins win, and I'm excited to discuss the Twins MVP because he was a shining light in what was otherwise a very disappointing season. And I think if you are listening to this, thank you again for listening all season long. I can't stress that enough. Thank you so much for listening. If you were listening all season long, if this is your first one that you're listening to, thank you. This is episode number 450. I took this podcast over like a month and a half before the Twins signed Josh Donaldson. He just finished his second year as a Twin. So that gives you a little bit of perspective. We've been doing this 5 days a week for a really long time. And if you've stuck around, thank you so much. And this offseason, I think right now is a really difficult time because the direction of the team is in question. The direction is unknown. At the end of last year, you knew they had these holes to fill, but they were clearly competitive, right? Like they still won the division, even though they got swept. It's like, okay, we're going to put our hat back in the ring for 2021. Everyone expected them to be competitive again. This time around, we don't know, and I think that makes it all the more fascinating. Speaking of offseason coverage, the offseason handbook at twinsdaily.com is now available for pre-order. I think it's $10. I have an article in it, 4 trades for starting pitchers, with names. It's almost 1,000 words. 4 starting pitchers I think will be available, who I think the Twins can target on the trade market, and just so much stuff, like retool or rebuild articles, so much going on there. You can find that at twinsdaily.com. Nick Nelson just posted an article where you can pre-order the offseason handbook, because I think this offseason, and it's not like The Bachelor, I don't think I say this every offseason. Hopefully I don't. I haven't for 3 years. But I think this offseason is going to be the most fascinating that we've seen, definitely under this regime, under this new front office, and under Rocco Baldelli too. I guess those things kind of go in hand, but Rocco's 2019 on. Definitely the most interesting for that group, but I think one of the most interesting in the last decade of Twins off seasons, because where are they? Like and a lot of fans just say they won 73 games this year. That's who they are. They should expect to be that next year, but so many things went wrong, and we're going to do a season in review. We break down in 20-game intervals what went wrong for the 2021 Twins, and what we're going to find, I think, and I hope to find things that I wouldn't have thought of. What we're going to find is that things that could go wrong did go wrong for a lot of the first half of the season. Twins were 29-28, I think. They were a game above 500 in the last 2 months of the season. That a lot of that was without Nelson Cruz and Jose Barrios in August and September. But at the beginning of the year, so many things went wrong. Almost everything that could did, and we're going to break it all down in 20-game intervals. After this word from DirecTV and Get Upside, we're going to do the 5 takeaways from this weekend series win for the Twins in Kansas City. They ended on a good note. Stick with me. Does this sound familiar? You've got one device that lets you catch the game live, another that lets you stream your favorite shows, you're watching sports highlights on your phone, and you've got your neighbor's best friend's login for the good stuff. Well, I want to tell you about a simple way to get all that entertainment you love without the hassle, and a great way to finally get your TV together. It's called DirecTV Stream, and it brings your live TV and on-demand favorites together like never before, so you can watch your favorite sports, movies, and shows all in one place. That means no more juggling remotes and no need to buy another device ever again. And the best part, there's no annual contract. So get rid of the clutter and the confusion and get your TV together with DirecTV Stream. You can learn more at directtv.com. That's directtv.com. Compatible device required. Content varies by package. Hey Twins fans, this is Nash Walker with an incredible app who everyone who buys gas needs to know about. It's called Get Upside. My listeners are making up to 25 cents for every gallon of gas every time they fill up. Just download the Get Upside app in the App Store or Google Play right now. Use promo code BASEBALL and get a bonus 25 cents per gallon on your first fill up. That's up to 50 cents cash back. Don't pay full price at the pump anymore. Get cash back using Get Upside. Just download the app for free and use promo code BASEBALL to get up to 50 cents per gallon cash back on your first tank. Some people who drive a lot are making as much as $200 to $300 a month in cash back, and there's no catch. The cash back gets added right to your account. You can cash out anytime to your bank account, PayPal, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Get Upside app and use promo code BASEBALL to get up to 50 cents per gallon cash back on your first tank. That's code BASEBALL at Get Upside. So looking at our 5 takeaways from the weekend, a series win in Kansas City for the Twins, finishing on a good note. I think that there's value in that. There's no such thing, I guess, as a moral victory. Some people believe in that. In some ways I do, for sure. But there's value in the way that they finished. It does matter that they finished this way. It matters for people like me who watch every single day anyway. But it does matter, I think, for fans who just love the team and were watching. And for those who weren't watching, I totally understand for the last couple of months. But at least you didn't have to read, if you were still reading about the team, that they were getting blown out every night without Barrios, without Cruz, and that they'd given up. I don't think they gave up. They played very hard till the end, and I'm not saying they deserve a pat on the back for that. I just think that's a positive to take away from these last couple of months. My number one takeaway, or at least the first takeaway, is Jorge Alcala is the second half MVP of the bullpen. And we talked about Jorge last week and what he's brought to the bullpen. But in the second half, 25 innings, 2.88 ERA, 2.01 FIP, which means he's actually was unlucky. Fielding independent pitching is your expected ERA based on things you can control. And what he did control was striking out 32% of hitters and walking just 5.3%. Jorge Alcala has been so good with all three of his pitches that I've considered the Twins potentially should stretch him out. And I think his role will be 2-3 innings potentially next year. I hope it is, because he can do it, and he's got 3 pitches now, legitimately 3 weapons. Jorge Alcala, second half MVP of the bullpen, awesome, maybe the best. There were some really good stories. Joe Ryan, Bailey Ober, maybe the best and most encouraging in the second half is his breakout, because it was just a long time coming. Number 2, Griffin Jax, I think, has legit good stuff. We've talked a lot about Griff. 5 innings, 1 hit, no earned runs this weekend in his final start, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. The stuff is good. The slider's a good pitch when he's commanding the ball. He can get outs, even against a lineup that has, Salvador Perez, Whit Merrifield, Nicky Lopez has had a great year. That's not a bad Royals lineup, especially at the top half, and he did a really nice job. Again, I think he could pump 95, 96 out of the bullpen with a hard-biting slider, and I think that's where his value is going to be as a pitcher for the Twins, but he has legit good stuff, legitimately good stuff. My number 3 takeaway is the offense can be elite. They averaged 5.8 runs per game in their last 5 games of the season. You might say there were some September call-ups for teams. They weren't seeing the best pitchers at the end of September, and that's probably partially true. But there's no denying that when Josh Donaldson, Byron Buxton, Jorge Polanco, Mitch Garver, when Miguel Sano's swinging it, and when Luis Ariz is swinging a good bat too, that this lineup is elite, and they can be elite, and they were supposed to be elite in a lot of ways this year, and I think they showed it at times. Really, the key to that is Byron Buxton, and we'll get to him in the 5th takeaway. But number 4 is Brent Rooker has work to do to make the 2022 Twins opening day roster. In his last 13 games, he went 5 for 32, hit 156, struck out in 35% of his at-bats, walked in 8%. So decent walk rate, but not enough to justify the strikeouts and the lack of hits. The biggest thing for Rook is against left-handed pitching, because the Twins have a lot of left-handed outfielders. They have Max Kepler, they have Trevor Larnach, they have Alex Kirilloff. I think they're going to be able to hit right-handed pitching, but they need a guy like Rooker to be their 4th outfielder who can crush lefties. And in 83 plate appearances in 2 seasons now, and his minor league numbers back this up completely. I don't know if they back it up this year, but like a very large sample in 2019 of his minor league numbers showed that he crushed righties and really struggled against lefties comparatively. But against lefties, in the bigs, hitting .222 with a 700 OPS. That's a lower OPS than it is against righties. He has a higher on-base percentage at .325, but is slugging just .375 against lefties. If he was like Adam Duvall, where, he has like a .288 on-base percentage overall, but destroyed lefties, like was just a lefty killer as a big right-handed bat, but against righties was going to strike out a ton and a lot of swing and miss, going to strike out 200 times in a season if he's an everyday player. That is super valuable to the Twins. Like if he was just a lefty masher, he would make the team next year. But he just hasn't been able to do that, and it's odd. It's odd that he has those reverse splits, and he's got work to do this offseason to make the opening day roster, and I think there's work that has to be done around him for him to make the opening day roster, like trades and other things. Otherwise, I think he will be starting in St. Paul. Number 5 is Byron Buxton makes this team go in a lot of ways, and I don't want to put too much on Buck because you need 1 through 26. Like you look at the playoff teams this year, those teams, almost every single team in the playoffs is deep in at least one area, like really deep. You need depth over 162. We know this. That's why I was confident that the Twins would be good this year, because I thought they were deep, and they ended up, not being as deep in the bullpen, not being as deep on the bench with Jake Cave struggling, and they weren't as deep as I thought. And the Twins definitely need depth, and they need to improve their depth for 2022. But Byron Buxton makes such a difference, just himself, 1 out of 26 since 2017. And this is somewhat misleading because he was not good in 2018 and they still had a winning record when he started in 2018. I think there's some validity to that because he's so good defensively. But when he started since 2017, the Twins are on a 93-win pace. When he doesn't start, they're on a 78-win pace. So they legitimately would be one of the best teams in the league since 2017 if you just took the record of when Buxton starts, and they would be, 4 games below 500, the 2018 Twins, basically, when he doesn't start. which I think is incredible. Let's talk about the team MVP after the break. 5 takeaways. Jorge Alcala, second half MVP of the bullpen. Number 2, Griffin Jax has legit good stuff. The offense can be elite. Brent Rooker has some work to do, and Byron Buxton is the heart and soul. We'll be right back. Twins MVP. Built Bar is the best tasting protein bar ever. Did you know that Built Bar has so many delicious flavors? There's something for everyone. There's the freedom of choice, and it's great. When you talk to a Built Bar fan, they're definitely passionate about their faves. If you don't know the Built Bar flavors, well, you're missing out. Coconut, mint brownie, strawberry, and orange highlight a group of elite flavors. My favorite flavor is mint brownie. It's really, really good. It almost tastes like an ice cream cone, like mint brownie ice cream, but Built Bars are healthy. 17 to 18 grams of protein, calories ranging from just 130 to 180, only 4 to 5 grams of net carbs, huge for a type 1 diabetic like me. Amazing flavors. They're all tasty and they're all healthy. Order today and get the grasshopper cookie or raspberry or whatever you like. Built Bar is also the official protein bar of the U.S. track and field team. It's really neat. Go to Built.com, use promo code LOCKEDON, and you'll get 15% off your order. Use promo code LOCKEDON for 15% off at Built.com.
Has this ever happened to you? You need to see a doctor. You search and find one that looks good. You wait on hold to book an appointment. You rearrange your schedule. And when you finally go in to find out, this doctor isn't even taking your insurance. Ugh! But there's a solution. Just download the free ZocDoc app, the easiest way to find a great doctor and instantly book an appointment. With ZocDoc, you can search for local doctors who take your insurance, read verified patient reviews, and book an appointment in person or video chat. Never wait on hold with the receptionist again. Whether you need primary care or dentist, dermatologist, psychiatrist, eye doctor, or other specialists, ZocDoc has you covered. Go to ZocDoc.com/MLB and download the ZocDoc apps to sign up for free. ZocDoc makes healthcare easy. Now is the time to prioritize your health. Go to ZocDoc.com/MLB and download the ZocDoc app to sign up for free and book a top-rated doctor. Many are available as soon as today. That's ZocDoc.com/MLB.
Team MVP, been calling him Team MVP all year. MV Polo, Jorge Polanco is the Twins MVP in 2022. And I want to stress, if you would have told me this before the season, like, showed me these numbers. So Jorge Polanco hit 269. His on base was down a little bit at 323, but still good because he slugged 503. OPS plus 125, 25% better than league average. He was the second best hitting second baseman in the American League to Marcus Semien, only Marcus Semien. 33 homers, 35 doubles, 2 triples. He drove in 98 runs and was worth almost 5 wins above replacement. Struck out in 18% of his at-bats, walked in 7%. What did he not do well? Basically nothing. Like, played solid defense, and we'll get into this more when we do our report cards. Ton of report cards coming up. We're going to grade every Twins season. And some episodes will have like 2 or 3 guys lumped, but when it's, you know, Byron Buxton will probably get his own episode because his per game basis and his future is so important right now. But Jorge Polanco, I can't even begin to talk about how good he was all around. And then what gives him, spoiler alert, an A+ season in his report card in a couple weeks is how good he was in big spots. He went 40 for 120, hit 333 with 11 homers, 5 doubles, and a triple with runners in scoring position. Drove in 66 runs with runners in scoring position. He went 35 for 108, hit 324 with 6 homers, 4 doubles, and 38 driven in high leverage situations. And then in win probability added, so if you look at the American League, this is who added the most percentage chance to win to their team. And you know, if the Twins have a 35% chance to win, Jorge Polanco comes up, hits a 3-run homer, they take the lead, then they have a 70% chance to win. That's that 35% gain that goes to Jorge Polanco for win probability added. These are the 3 leaders in the American League. One is Shohei Ohtani as a hitter. I mean, that's amazing. Number 2, Aaron Judge. Number 3 was Jorge Polanco in the American League. No hitter added more probability to their team's chance of winning than Jorge Polanco, other than Shohei Ohtani and Aaron Judge. That just shows you how good he was this year. All-time, Twins at second base. Number 1's Rod Carew. Number 2's Rod Carew, 74 and 75 seasons. Number 3, Chuck Knobloch in 1995. Number 4, Jorge Polanco in terms of WPA from a Twins second baseman all-time. So a top 4 season in terms of just adding probability to your team's chance of winning. And that's just, I mean, if Jorge Polanco put up these numbers and didn't have the amazing line with runners in scoring position in high leverage spots, I would still say that this is a 90th percentile outcome for him for what I thought and what we thought in May, like how bad he was to start the year. I was saying Jorge Polanco should maybe get like reduced to a potential platoon role. Like he was that bad, and he was that bad in 2020. And that makes this all the more incredible for him to bounce back, win Twins MVP, runaway Twins MVP. Some of that's because there weren't a lot of other great performances, but also because he really legitimately was one of the best players in the American League this year on a lot of fronts and showed up all summer long, from June through September, was just elite at the plate. And these numbers are elite on the season. That includes that he hit like 120 or whatever it was in April. Like, it's incredible what he did. It's incredible how he bounced back. He was healthy. He looked really good. He played a solid second base, and it was just a great season for Jorge Polanco. And he provided us a lot of, I think he provided me and Twins fans a lot of hope that at least next year we have a really great second baseman, a potential top 3 second baseman in the American League, offensively, defensively, overall value. And that means something because there's a lot of positions right now that we don't know. We don't know what's going to happen in the future. But what we know is Jorge Polanco is cemented at second when he's healthy, elite, and what a year for Jorge. Cheers to him. Amazing job. It was fun to watch all year. There's the episode for the day. Tomorrow, we're going to continue offseason coverage. Probably talk about the wildcard game a little bit in the American League. Yankees at Red Sox at Fenway. And we'll continue on. Report cards, season in review, 20-game segments. And then we're going to do free agent profiles, trade target profiles. It's all coming. And I love the offseason for a lot of different reasons. Like, I think it provides a lot of creativity. It provides me the chance to get creative, to have fun, and to take questions and comments. So if you have any, follow me on Twitter at NashWalker9, tweet at me, or tweet at the show, DM the show at Locked On Twins. Thank you again for listening. Go Twins. Off-season commences. Like I said, bittersweet. Go Twins.